You're going to be successful in business, you have to be willing to hire people that are smarter than you.
You can't do it yourself. You have to have people that you trust.
Everybody is as important as the next person.
You have to take risks.
Every business should be prepared to be sold in 5 years.
Business Newsmakers is brought to you by Tompkins Mahopac Bank, your local, mobile, and remarkable community bank.
Hello and welcome to Hudson Valley News Network's Business Newsmakers Show, brought to you by Tompkins Mahopac Bank. I'm Philomena Finelli of Impact PR and Communications, and I'm here to help you get all up in the business of the wow-worthy leaders and community change makers from the Hudson Valley. Today I'm here with one of them, Erica Malcook. She's the co-owner and executive chef of Yum Yum Noodle Bar. Welcome, Erica.
Thank you so much. I'm so flattered.
Thank you for joining us in the studio. So I'm impressed by you, and I think our viewers will be too, because Erica owns not one, not two, but 3 brick and mortar restaurants in Woodstock, Kingston, and now Red Hook, correct?
Yes, we just opened a few months ago.
Wow, that was a big undertaking.
It was, but you know what? It gets easier each time, and it's going wonderful. The community is so welcoming and makes us just feel right at home.
How did you know it was a good idea to open a 3rd location? Because by all means, 2 restaurants is a lot. Why did you go for 3?
You know, it felt like the right time. We hadn't done anything in 5 years, and then we kept being asked by people in the Red Hook, Rhinebeck community, you know, open one here, and then we actually were contacted by the building owner and someone who actually really cares about the development of Red Hook. And it just felt right. We actually looked at that space 5 years ago and turned it down and always said, if it ever comes back around, we really want that. And it did. So it was meant to be. And everything fell into place, so it felt right.
That's great. And you don't make your business decisions alone. From what I hear, you have a partner in your business. Can you tell me a bit about why you chose to be a co-owner?
Well, I do have a partner. Her name is Nicole Cawley. She's more of the business side of the operations, and I have her because, and I choose to have a partner because we can share in it together. We can share the load. It's just like a marriage where one person does this, and just it's for the common goal. You know, you're all working for this, success, and somebody to share all of the ups and downs with.
That sounds great. One thing I want to know about is there are ups, there are downs. For people out there who are watching who don't know what it's like to run a restaurant and they think it's all just fun and playing around in the kitchen, what are some of the issues that you face, some of the challenges?
Well, there's lots of challenges. Of course, it's not all cupcakes and rainbows and as they say, right? So I would say some of the biggest challenges are, finding the right staff, making sure you're up to date with all of your, human resources, your training of the staff, keeping your look, keeping your mission, going throughout the restaurants. If you have more than one location like we do, it's important that the consistency be the same across the board.
Erica, how many employees do you have in total throughout all of the Yum Yum locations?
Well, right now we have about 50 employees. And that's a lot. There's a lot to keep up with. Throughout the 3 locations.
How did you learn to manage people? You have 50 people and personalities. How did you figure out that part of the role yourself, having come out of the kitchen?
Well, I think you should observe. You should see. You've put yourself in that position, and for me, I've been in that position. I've done those hours. I have children, and I have a mortgage, and I try to put myself in their position when I'm dealing with them, and to put myself there, and to try to understand them and know what their strengths are, know how to improve. What I would like for them to see out of them, and that for me is like the key to, success with your employees.
So you know what each of those jobs are like and you're relatable?
Yeah, you can relate to it, you do it, you understand it, you know how to do it, and they respect that. They respect that you are a hard worker, they respect that you know how to do the job, and then also seeing what their strengths and weaknesses are, where they could be good in the business, and to really push them to, to give their best each time.
The restaurant business entails some very, very long hours. I'm sure if any of you are out there, you're in the restaurant business, you know this, maybe you don't. So what drives you to keep doing it? It's not the easiest business to run. What excites you in your business?
When I work with the employees and I know about their lives and I see them growing and I see them growing with us. And sometimes it's they're going to school and this is their side job, but then I see that, wow, they stay with us. They've been with us for 5 or 6 years, and I see that they're having families and buying homes, and I just see that this creates this nice family feel that they want to be there, and they see that there's a future with us, and that they can grow inside of our company. They can become a manager, or maybe even become their own business owner.
So you enjoy the nurturing?
Yes, for sure. I mean, that makes it worth it. That makes, at the end of the day, you feel that you're providing this great work environment for them. You're providing them with a stable income, a stable job, and a happy place. I mean, there's no yelling and screaming in the kitchen. There's
no drama in the kitchen.
I mean, if there is, maybe it's amongst them, but it's not. It's not like a really hard bearing down owner, screaming or on their backs, or it's a. They see that they want to implement your style of management.
And so you have a chance to inspire them?
Yes, for sure.
So ownership is more than just creating an opportunity for yourself, but maybe a chance to create that for others?
Oh yeah, I think that that's more rewarding. Just not just for me, but for them, and to see how that they start and they share their lives with you. You get to see them grow up, or see their changes in their lives, and they do that all with you.
In addition to keeping consistent, you probably have to look forward to see what trends are happening and to make sure you keep your concepts fresh. How do you do that?
Well, I mean, we do that by research. We go to other restaurants, we go to places that are just trying new things to see if we can, get new ideas, get inspired. But Yum Yum it feels like the trend has lasted, and it's never stale or boring for us.
When you visit other restaurants, do they know you're there and who you are? Or are you sort of like a secret diner?
No, I don't think I would say unless someone asked me. Yeah.
But you're observing kind of how other kitchens are run and the presentation and
right, presentation, new ingredients, what's trending, if I can use some of that in some of our cooking or to incorporate new ideas. But I mean, we kind of stay with the same kind of formula, so it has worked for us.
Speaking of recognition, I know you're a Cutthroat Kitchen champion, and one of your chefs was recently on Chopped and fared quite well. How did that affect your business, that exposure?
Greatly. I mean, a lot of people watch, of course. Chopped is a very popular show, and we've had plenty of people come in and, they saw us on TV with our chef, Kate. And so, I mean, I'm so proud of her. She did such a great job. It's really, rewarding to see one of your own go out there and do that, because it's nerve-wracking, and she did wonderful. And then also me being on Cutthroat Kitchen and being a winner, also people, they rerun these shows, and of course, every time someone sees it, they want to come, check out you in Woodstock or Kingston, and, they come looking for you. So it's fun.
You get to be a bit of a food celebrity.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I would do it again.
How did Cutthroat Kitchen find you, or did you find them?
Well, actually, a former chef that used to work for me in Sabrosa, which was a restaurant that I owned before Yum Yum, went out to California to be a sort of Food Network celebrity chef, and he he got in contact with me and said, this show, Cutthroat Kitchen, this is when it was first starting, is looking for, kick-ass, female chefs, and he said, you came to mind, and I really wanted to recommend you for the show. And I said, I haven't even seen it yet, so let me check it out first. So I watched the show, and I said, absolutely not.
You said no?
I said, oh no, absolutely not. I don't think I can do that. And then, and then he said, literally the next day, the lady from the show called me, and then I felt on this, and I said, you know what, I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll interview for you, and if you pick me, then I'm, and then I got really excited about it. And then once I got there, it was like this natural instinct of, competition, and being on it was almost like being in the restaurant with all of the obstacles that happen. Things break, you must improvise in a minute. And so it was a duck to water.
It sounds like your everyday world.
Yeah, it was my everyday world, but
camera's rolling.
fun, and like in a game show, right? You know, you can play with money and, you know, and compete. So that was like, you know, that was the fun.
So you were glad you changed your mind.
I'm glad I changed my mind. I'm glad that I did it. I'm, you know, sort of like, you know, so it was like an accomplishment, you know, to, you know, get out of my comfort zone and go, you know, on TV and compete against others. So, you know, it felt like, you know, and I won on top of that. So I think, you know, it was a real score.
Yeah, it sure is.
It is.
In moving and growing your business, one thing that I saw you do not that long ago was start Yum Yum on Wheels. How did you decide to then go from the restaurants that we all know and love into a more mobile business, and how was that different?
Well, you know, the food truck scene really started to, you know, go off the charts, you know, like a decade ago, and we got excited by that, and we started our food truck in 2012, kind of at the same time we were starting our Kingston location. So that is just like a fun way. Sometimes you feel like you're going on a field trip, you know, and, you know, you're basically packing up the restaurant and bringing it with you.
Are there any other delicious plans in the works for Yum Yum Noodle Bar or Yum Yum on Wheels? Anything we have to look forward to out there?
Well, I mean, should the right location come up again, I mean, who knows? I'm sure we would do another one. And I mean, we don't have any plans of stopping. So, you know, as long as it fits for us, we'll keep going.
Well, thank you. I'm hoping you head to Dutchess County personally. But for now, at least we have 3 locations and Yum Yum on Wheels. I really appreciate you taking time out to share your business know-how with all of us. Thank you for being here,
thank
Erica.
you so much.
And thank you to you for tuning in to Business Newsmakers. Please be sure to join us next week for more inside scoop on what it's really like to run a business in the Hudson Valley. Thank you for listening.
Now it's time for this week's Tompkins Tip with Amy Greiner, Vice President of Business Development.
Is it time to start thinking about expanding your business into a new space? Before investing in the purchase of an office space or commercial property, there are a few points to consider. The site's location and negative or positive impact it will have on staff, clients, and customers. The property's purchase price in comparison to how much ready capital is available to pay for it, along with the amount of accessible reserve funds for related expenses. Costs involved in renting versus mortgaging the property, including monthly installments plus the site's operating costs and maintenance requirements, plus potential renovation work. The relative importance of building equity through property ownership in comparison to the ability to do so affordably and without risking the business's financial stability. Once you've weighed the pros and the cons, you'll be on the right track to help your business grow.
Business Newsmakers is brought to you by Tompkins Mahopac Bank, your local, mobile, and remarkable community bank.